Welcome back, ladies and gents. Joe from Newcastle Fans TV. Here today with probably my first ever little bit of a rant for the channel. Newco. The lasses playing at St. James's Park on a constant in the season. Is it really viable? I don't think so. Let's get into this. Well, it's time to get a few pickles off my chest, guys. Look, I'm going to start off with the big one that everyone keeps talking about, which is St. James's Park. And Newcastle United women playing at St. James's Park. Other clubs, likes of Nottingham Forest, announcing that the women's team are going to play at their home ground for every home game this season. And first of all, congratulations to any club announcing that. That is wonderful news, and I hope it goes well. Personally, for St. James's Park, I don't want that to be announced for Newcastle United women. And there's a big reason behind that as well, let me just say, right? And that is finances. Now, I get it. Newcastle United women aren't under the whole FFP. We've got no rules to go by financially and such. We need to prove that it can bring in a revenue, and a regular revenue at that. Now, considering St. James's Park is one of the biggest stadiums and more popular stadiums in England, 52,000 seater, honestly speaking, does it get filled when the women play there? No, it doesn't, right? And that's no slide. The women's game is growing. The growth and potential there is phenomenal. We'll touch upon that in a bit. But the ticket prices are a lot cheaper. That just isn't viable. Say we pull in 20 to 30, 40k on a match day for a women's game. Wonderful. That's lovely. But it costs in the region of 150,000 plus for that stadium to run on a match day. Guys, there's still like 110k there to try and find at the minimum. I don't know the exact numbers to how much it costs to run St. James's Park. If the women were to play there every single home game, which, do not get me wrong, I would absolutely adore, and I'm sure all of them would, but it's just not financially viable right now. We want the women's game to be grown. We need to show that it's going to be profitable. That is possible. It is on its way there, especially in Newcastle. Look, last season, look how many games we were going to away games, and we were the dominant. I think nearly every away game we were the dominant force, you know. And we even went down to Leigh Sports Village, which is Manchester United's ground. And now, when you consider Manchester United women have got their own dedicated home ground, which, yes, needs to be on the cards for us without doubt, but we'll save that conversation for another day. They brought about maybe 1,000 to 2,000 fans, maybe 2,000 to 3,000, okay, and that is probably profitable for them, and that's their regular match day, no doubt. But they're making a profit off a 10,000 seater stadium, not a 52,000 Premier League purpose-built stadium. Like this stadium has been upgraded to keep in line. And yes, there is currently upgrades that we would love to have to St. James's Park and have it built up and made bigger and better. But yet again, if you want the women to play there every single home game, we have that issue of making it viable. And you can look into many different ways. How can we make it more viable? Have events outside the ground. Have things happen in a half time. Attract more people to come. But yet again, that's more costs. You're just making that bill bigger and bigger and bigger. We just can't do it. I think what we need to focus on is filling out 10,000 at Kingston Park, or an average of around about 7,000 to 8,000. We know we can get that on a match day. It was happening. It happened last season at the back end. You know, we're seeing over 7,000 fans there, which was amazing to see. We know we can do that. We need to push and make the image better at Kingston Park. It is a fantastic day out. It's a great time. Everyone always has a laugh there. But that needs to be done first. We need to get over the hump of making sure Kingston Park is near fillable every home game before we can move on to St. James's Park. Now, by that time, the chances are the women's game as a whole is much better. And maybe that's by the time we get to the Super League, be it this season coming or next season or the season after. Say it's going to take 2 years and we get to the Super League and we're filling out Kingston Park. Okay, it's time to move up. So I think by that time, it would be more ideal to have a purpose-built stadium for the women, a 15,000 to 20,000 seater, which is ready for the future. Where that's going to be, I don't know. We can speculate on that on another time and as the season goes on, but I think that's a better outlook and better goal to go for is having a purpose-built stadium that's a 15 to 20,000 seater and prepare for the future, rather than trying to force way into St James's Park and potentially getting away in a position where the women's team may suffer financially. Of course, I've said it before, I do want St James's Park. I want to play at St James's Park. But at the minute, I'm happy with once or twice a season. If we're going to increase it to 4 or 5 this season, more than happy. But I would like to first see a purpose-built stadium. Guys, let us know what you think about St James's Park down in the comments as well. So now I want to move on to a bigger one. This is a bit of a thing that I want to get off my chest. Newco. Some people are like, Newco's great. What's Newco? Some of you might be asking. Newco, November 2023, clubs unanimously agreed to form a new independent organisation after the English FA revealed it would no longer run the WSL and the Championship. So these clubs came together, were like, we'll all invest in it, we'll make this big new company and we'll run it off our own backs. Wicked, happy days. Glad loads of clubs think that's going to happen. Nicky Doucette was appointed as the CEO, and Nicky Doucette is Canadian born. She's a former Nike UK Ireland general manager, and Nicky has an extensive record in the world of finances and sport. You can go and look all day long at Nicky Doucette, and the CV speaks for itself. They're due for a name change, Newco. And Newco state they will be a revenue generating standalone entity with a professional dedicated management team. And this in itself, that's promising. I really like the idea of that for clubs who are partial shareholders. This could be the exact elevation that the women's sport in the UK requires. It really could. And I think there has been a lot of focus on Nicky Doucette and Newco and what they're going to do. Nicky goes on record in most of our interviews expressing how the potential and the growth of women's football is inevitable. Now, look, I fully agree. There's some things that I'm going to go on to say here, which I think I've got enough credit in the women's game now to be able to say, I love this sport. I follow Newcastle United religiously, but now I'm more focused on the women's team than I am the men's. So I agree. I do agree that the growth and the potential for this game it's inevitable. It's going to happen. No matter what, it's going to happen. So look, I'm often caught stating how much of a profit financially and community wise Newcastle United women is and how women's football is. I think it's a shambles that many clubs don't invest more. So the image needs raised, and currently, for me as a fan, quite honestly, Newco's practice has seemed a little unorganised. A somewhat late fixtures announcement, and that was felt by a fair amount of fans. And then also to announce that they can't confirm whether our matches will be on a Saturday or a Sunday. For me, that's a huge mishit with your demographic. Those families, that's what it is. That's the demographic. It's families, and they like to plan in advance. They like to get the travel arranged. They like to make sure they've got the money, especially in this economy. You know, some of them have got 2 or 3 kids, and they want to make sure they can accommodate for it. And now we're getting told, not all too long till the start of the season, that, well, we don't know if it's going to be a Saturday or a Sunday, and by the looks of it, it's going to get announced over time. Now, we'll also see many clubs in a financial struggle, and this can't be attributed to Newco directly, I get that, but one has to wonder, have clubs such as Reading, Blackburn, Sheffield, have they seen any sort of input or assistance from Newco? Try to help out with the contact with the clubs. You would like to think they have, but we've got no evidence of that, and these clubs are folding. The women's teams are going under. You see London City Lionesses, they have been taken over by US entrepreneur Michelle Kang, and that's welcomed heavily by just sitting that team, which, yeah, I agree. It's fantastic, especially for a team with no connected men's club. But what about the clubs without that? Like I say, how are we collectively assisting the growth of the game effectively? And especially when it's on the up, we need to be protecting as many clubs as possible. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. This is far from a disapproval of Newco. I agree massively with the visions and goals Nicky Doucette has for the women's football. But I suppose, like many fans, I just want some more positive news, some more positive progress in seeing it. Do you know, we're consistently reading articles about what could be, appeals for more investment after taking a £20 million loan from the Premier League. That is repayable once Newco has reached £100 million profit. But clubs are currently also being thrown aside or disbanded, and while that's happening, and it's something that does worry us, really does. Look, hopefully with a name change and a full branding push, this will be a huge turning point, and you'll all come back and be like, "See, Joe, you were wrong." But I believe this. I believe this can be massively beneficial and lucrative deal for women's football, Newco. I really do. But I just want more evidence of it, that's all. I don't disagree with Newco. I don't disagree with Nicky just said our team and what can come. I see it. I do. I see it, and I think we can make it. But, I mean, WSL, that is staying as an open league. And the aim from Newco is to govern all clubs into a massive profit facilitation, health and branding growth process. Class. Lovely, lovely. Look, I know many of you will have your own vision on Newco and the process, so please let us know. Maybe you've seen something I haven't. Maybe you've got some information that I haven't. Drop it in the comments. Let us know what you think. And are you as worried as I am? Or do you believe in it as much as I do? Are you not worried? Do you think the process is going to be fine? Let's see what happens. But ladies and gentlemen, please try and get along to the Salad Day. St. James's Park is going to be bouncing. That said, hit the like, hit the subscribe. It's been Joe from Newcastle Fans TV. Thank you for listening to me rant on. Ladies and gentlemen, see you in the next one.